Hello, grade 7 students. In this presentation, I am going to walk you through numbers 1, 2, and 3 in your library orientation assignment. If you pay close attention to this presentation, you should be able to complete these sections without a problem. So, let's take a look at number 1. Number 1 asks you to go to learn.xbhs.com and select the Search the Ruth Kennedy Library choice. So what does that look like? If you go to learn.xbhs.com, you come to a page that looks like this. This is the library startup page, which directs you to all the different resources that we have in our library. And here's the one that says Search the Ruth Kennedy Library Collection. So I'm going to click on that, and it brings me to the library online catalog. Now the directions here say that I'm going to perform a keyword search in the online catalog, and I'm going to use this search term, Afghanistan. Okay, that's the search term that the person with this sheet has. Everybody has a different search term. So let's go back to that page, and I'm going to type in Afghanistan. Remember, I was asked to do a keyword search, so I have to click on the keyword button. When I do that search, I find that we have 22 books on Afghanistan in our library. But the directions want me to narrow that down. The directions want me to pick a book that's in the FXD area of the library and then fill in the information on this sheet. So the book has to have FXD on the label. Okay, so here's what a label looks like. The label is going to have the letters FXD followed by a call number followed by some letters. Okay? So keep that in mind when you're looking. So what you're going to do then is you're going to take a look at this results list, and this first one doesn't say FXD. This third one doesn't say FXD, but the second one does. This book is in the FXD collection. So that's the book that you want to find. And that book is written by someone named Erica Whittekind. So when you fill in your sheet, you're going to fill in the full call number, all the letters and the numbers, and you're going to put the last name of the author. And then you bring that book along with your sheet to one of the librarians who will check off that you did that one correctly. So that's number 1. Let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 is divided up into a few sections, and here we have 2A. 2A wants you to perform an author search using the same search tool that you just used. So let me go back to that first page, that search page, and I'm going to type that author's name in. Notice it's last name, comma, space, first name. And this time I have to use the author button. I select author, and I find out that we have 3 books by that author in our library. So I go back to my answer sheet and look to see what am I asked to do here in number 2. I'm asked to say how many titles appear for this search? 3. And then I'm asked how many of those titles are in the FXD collection. So if we go back to that search screen, we find that all 3 titles are in the FXD collection. So I write down the number 3 on my answer sheet. Now that always won't be the case. In some instances, we might have 9 books by an author and only 2 of them are in the FXD collection. So some of you may have to scroll through to come up with the accurate figures. Now, section 2B is going to ask you to do a title search using the exact same search term that you used to complete number 1 on this sheet. Remember, in number 1, we used Afghanistan. So now we're going back to using Afghanistan, only we're going to perform a title search. So let's go back to that search screen again. Okay. I'm going to type in Afghanistan. And now I'm going to choose title. This is a key that people have to remember. They have to remember to choose the right button when they're doing these searches. So I hit title, and I find that we have 8 books in our library that are about Afghanistan. So back to my answer sheet. I put down 8, and I'm asked again how many entries are in the FXD collection. So now I have to scroll through the list. 1 out of the first 4. Then there's number 2, there's number 3, there's 4. So the last 3 are in the FXD, and the third one is in FXD. So 4 out of the 8 books are in the FXD collection, and so I put the number 4 down for my answer. So it's important to pay close attention and not make assumptions about what you see on the sheet. Just because there's one FXD doesn't mean that they're all FXDs. Now let's go back to our direction sheet, and let's move to the other side of the page where we have item 2C. It asks you to take one of the titles that you found in parts 2A or 2B and handprint the author and title of the book, just as you see in the model below. And then you have to bring it to the librarian, one of the librarians, and we will put our initials down if you did it correctly. And notice that 2C is not asking you to use anything from number 1. It's asking you to use books from either 2A or 2B. So in the search that I did, one of the books in the section 2A and 2B was by that author, William Habib, and it was called Ivory Coast. And so I put it exactly the same with the spacing, the punctuation, the underline, everything is exactly the same. And so one of the librarians should initial that as being correct. Okay. And then number 3. Number 3, find a book dealing with the first president of the United States. Again, everybody has a different number there. Somebody else has the 37th president of the United States. Locate the book in the president's collection and then bring it to one of the librarians who will initial the sheet to confirm that you found the right book. Now, I'm not going to go into great detail on this because you watched the presentation, and if you were paying close attention to the presentation, you would have recognized where you would be looking to find a book on a president of our country. So basically, for number 3, you're on your own, but it's not tremendously difficult. So those are the directions on how to complete numbers 1, 2, and 3. In quick review, I want to bring you back to the startup page for the Xaverian Library. And here it is right here. It's at learn.xbhs.com, and it has numerous selections. You're going to be using another one for another exercise here, and I'll be showing you that in the next presentation. Okay, so this is what you need to be using as your startup page whenever you're using the library materials. Okay, thank you for paying attention. Good luck on those exercises.